And then
What did you say that thing was? A Casimir?
Maddox, he says, a Casme.
Casme. Yeah, no Casmes any match for Serenity. Kind of puffs up her chest a bit. Then she winces in pain.
Maddox says...
Hideous coughing pain.
Well, oh, you know what? Maddox can't talk to you. He's not in the room. I just remembered. He left.
Yeah.
Riot's gonna ask, Osos, so I take it your crew is less than jovial?
He says, we're as exactly as jovial as we need to be. That's why I follow Ariella around. Without me, there would be no laughter in her life. Ariella just kind of scoffs at the statement. The young boy...
More of a scoff than a laugh.
The young boy, having now woken up, getting some color back in his face, and Osos nudges him with his elbow. He's trying to teach this one to be jovial too. But it's been a war between me and the dwarf. The Orc Slayer and the Pie Slayer. And he just kind of gives Ariella this jokingly ferocious look. But again, she says nothing in response.
That will actually get Ciclon to lighten up a little bit. He's not actually... But he's still very annoyed at Mahogany right now.
Oh, I did pick a third language. I was going to say, I don't remember what language I picked, but it was Draconic. Which makes sense, because someone should always know Draconic.
Kelian!
Yeah.
Make a stealth check. At disadvantage,
okay.
Because of the constant light here.
Very well.
You don't have to roll high. My perception rolls over here sucked ass, but...
Well, it's disadvantage, so... 10.
I roll harder than that.
That's still enough.
Oh, wow.
Making your way around, you start hearing the two men patrolling down this hallway. So if you stay where you are, they'll see you in a couple seconds. You go in there and close the door?
Yeah.
Okay.
Riot's gonna ask Ariella, what's this thing that the Yonti are so bent on getting?
So we don't know much about it. We know it's a staff, but that's all we know. She looks over at the elf. Says, Zilvir here is the one who came across... I don't know what you would call it, a stone rubbing? Something from one of their old ruins. And she cross-referenced it with an interrogation we undertook of one of the Yanti spies. And at that, Zilvir speaks up to confirm what Ariella is saying. And she speaks with a very kind of whispery voice. Like she's afraid of being overheard by someone or something watching the room. She says, I have reason to believe that this staff, in the hands of a Yanti sorcerer, would be a great and terrible power. We have to prevent them from bringing it back at all costs.
Hey, you think it's in the tower here?
We know it's in the tower here. It's in one of the basement levels.
There are basement levels? We've been all up and down here. We haven't seen a stairway down there.
There was the downward stairway near the entrance.
That's right. That's right.
Do I know anything about this staff? Is this something I could roll an intelligence check on as part of the plane?
You would know anything about it now.
Okay.
You have no idea what they're talking about.
Okay.
So if we know it's in the basement and we're all here and more or less ready to go kill some Yanti, and she looks at Mahogany.
Mahogany stands up. Says, let's go.
No.
Ariella holds up her hand and says, they outnumber us greatly. We managed to survive the first few skirmishes. We left many of them dead. And then Zilvir here sealed them below using whatever the arcane mechanisms are on this floor of the tower. They're unable to reach us here. I know that there were several scouting parties below that we managed to evade. To which Osos says, until they came along, that is.
Yeah, they don't seem individually that strong. I'm not too worried if we're not that badly outnumbered.
Mahogany is... I'm choosing to interpret them as being sealed up as being in a prison. So I don't feel the need to go kill them at the moment.
I'm going to pull out my 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 book, the little etiquette book that I have.
Okay.
Just look like I'm thumbing through it for a moment, and then I'm gonna move over to Riot, show her a page in it, and then the page that I happen to have open is the 4-leaf clover, the one that's got the spider mark on it. I'm not saying anything. That's all I'm doing.
I notice it going on. I'm going to say, is that the right fork to use while dining with evil?
I'll just let out a sigh.
I'm gonna try and cast message until I get this through.
Okay.
To Ariella. We need rest, but the problem is my spell is only gonna last another 8 hours. At which point this one is going to go berserk again.
Don't understand.
You're not even hearing this.
Ariella gets the message,
Oh, okay.
and she looks at you and looks back at Mahogany. And then she speaks openly. Kind of with a disapproving tone. She says, "We have rope, chain, and manacles, if it comes to that."
It may.
Are you doing anything in this room, Kelian, or just chilling?
Just chilling.
Just chilling. Okay.
But in that
Can
case,
you-
I'm going to propose if no one else has any plans to do anything immediately, then I think we should rest.
Let's take a rest, get up tomorrow, go hunt for more evil.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll take a patrol at first. I need to walk this off a little bit for a minute. So I got a rubber chest.
I'll go with you.
Why don't you bring your guys back inside? We'll just take a patrol for the first watch on your rest.
And you guys come across Maddox and Banyan doing their patrol around the tower, and they agree to go in and let you guys take over. You see no sign of Kelian anywhere.
And as soon as those two are gone, I'll say, all right, well, hopefully Kelian around here somewhere, and he's just the two of us.
I'm going to spend part of the first watch, assuming that Mahogany is not taking first watch.
I will take the first watch because that way I can watch with my birds. They're going to disappear at the end of the hour.
Well,
Oh, okay.
Ian would eventually leave the room once he figures cards have gone past.
Okay.
And
So-
I'm also going to burn some of my spell slot on berries, so we have some for tomorrow.
Right.
Okay. So, go ahead and get the benefit of the long rest.
I'm gonna try and chain up Mahogany while he's asleep.
Does any of this max HP damage come back from a long rest?
Roll a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, I'm good at these.
Yeah.
Don't take these, I need
Yeah.
these.
Remember, you're
Guardian
blessed.
Oh,
Max.
Don't forget you're
Yeah.
blessed.
Oh, that's right. That's what applies to save.
Not going to work, but you are blessed.
Alright, 20 berries for tomorrow.
No, none of those hit points come back.
Even on a 14?
On a 14?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? A 14 might do it.
I've got a really good con save.
You do.
Double
That is
check.
impressive.
I would hope he's got a really good con save. I'm an old barbarian with no constitution.
Mine's okay, actually, now that I'm taking that feat. Like, it was really shitty before I took it, but that's what feats are for.
Yeah, that 14 actually does pass. Go ahead and roll a d6.
Okay.
He's on Mount Celestia, does it just get maxed?
No.
Max
So
anyway.
you regain 6 plus your constitution modifier to your max HP.
Okay. 10.
And you can
That's
repeat
about half of it.
you can repeat that process at the end of every long rest until you're totally regained. So, Mahogany, let's just say we fast forward to the point where the suggestion wears off and you're not bound and you're not asleep. What do you do?
Wait, why is it not bound?
I'm
I
just
said I was
saying,
gonna use-
let's just say that's what happens. What would he have done?
Okay. Gotcha.
I
I
want-
probably would have stood up, woken everyone else up, and then head outside the door
with the intention
to,
of slaying the rest
with
of
the
these
intention
creatures.
of slaying the rest of these creatures.
Okay. So, how long does the suggestion last? 8 hours?
8 hours, yeah.
Okay. So, Riot, you manipulate things so that Mahogany is asleep at the point where the spell would wear off. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm. Right.
So you have Mahogany asleep. What do you do?
I'm actually going to ask for Ariella's counsel here. I'll explain to her. I can renew the spell, but that's guaranteed to work. I may burn a couple slots trying to do it here. Or we can chain him up. In which case, he's probably going to go off tearing right back up to the top of the tower whenever we take these off.
Zilvir responds to that before Ariella has a chance to say anything.
Mm-hmm.
She says, if you're insistent that we not leave him to his own fate as a result of his own foolishness, then my advice would be to use the chains. Magic is unreliable on this plane.
So I've noticed. Alright, the chains it is then. And Riot works on chaining up her good friend Mahogany.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, Ariella produces a set of chains and manacles, and she explains that they are blessed for restraining undead. They're part of her...
Well, let's hope it doesn't come to that.
But they'll work equally well restraining this Genasi. So how do you bind him?
His hands behind his back, his feet together so that he can walk, but not be a danger to himself.
Okay. And Kitson, the young boy, looks very confused at this process. And Osos is laughing his ass off as you're binding him together. And Mahogany, make a charisma saving throw. DC of 13. 13? Yes, 13.
Alright, 16.
And when you wake up, the flaw is gone, and you no longer feel this incredibly strong compulsion to destroy evil.
Instead, you feel some dead manacles.
Your hands are clapped behind your back in metal manacles, your feet are chained together, and the halfling is laughing his ass off.
Are we in Pandemonium? Did I fall into the river again?
I don't know. What do you remember?
I'm gonna burn that tree down.
Do you remember making an absolute twit of yourself?
Yeah, no kidding. An absolute idiot.
Right, you can make fire, right? Let's just go down there, we can burn that tree, and then this will never happen to anyone else again.
I mean, to be fair, he sounds like Mahogany now.
Can I just preserve this for posterity? The party druid just said, "Can we please burn that tree down?"
Mahogany will hold his manacles out. He's like, "You guys realize I could just turn into a mouse and get out of these, right?"
And Osos speaks up, and he says, I don't know that we should believe him. That's exactly what he'd want us to think, that he's right in the head now. But if you remove those manacles, he'll grab this spear and take it right back to the battle.
I'm just saying, maybe tying up the druid wasn't the best choice?
I'm gonna roll an insight check on that.
On Osos? Alright, go.
No, on Mahogany.
Oh. You can make an insight check at advantage.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because you know Mahogany pretty well. You know his manner.
I'm already doing pretty good.
Yeah.
So for reference, can you turn into a rat?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's a good thing that was advantage.
Don't snap my neck to get into the...
It's a 22.
No, I can't turn into a rat.
Mahogany, he's distressed, clearly, because he's clapped up, but he does not seem to be lying. Osos is just messing with your head. He just thinks it's really funny.
Right, we'll begrudgingly unchain Mahogany.
Okay. And Ariella aids you in taking the chains off.
And then I will look at Mahogany and say, "What did we learn?"
That you're not as much about fighting evil as you constantly claim.
Right, stops in the process.
Elsie Clone.
Yeah.
Osos throws a bag at you.
Catch the bag.
You catch it, and it's a sack of potatoes. And he looks at Serenity and indicates a couple of items that he has sitting on the floor. Gather these up. Let's go to the kitchen, make some breakfast.
Sure.
Oh, sounds good.
Not much of a cook, but why not?
Osos says,
use the pomegranate.
just watch and learn from the master, my friend. By the time you leave the Tower of Fire, you will be a gourmet. And he takes the two of
I'll go
you.
with him.
He doesn't carry any of the food himself. Why would he? He's got these two strong pack mules following him around. And he takes the two of you into the kitchen down here. And he tells you the fabulous story of the supper that he made in his kitchen last night, starting with nothing but salted beef and half-wilted carrots. And he made a stew that takes your mind to another place. There are planes of good, and there are planes of law, and there are planes of the abyss. And I tell you, my friends, there are planes of deliciousness. And I shall take you there now.
Is that his poem? That was amazing. Plains of this, and there are also plains of deliciousness.
They don't let their guard down, but they also, the Thula party does not seem to be particularly worried or afraid. So throughout the course of the next few hours, you guys continue to patrol in pairs, mostly making sure that these rooms are not occupied by snake monsters.
Mm-hmm.
During that time, does anybody poke their head downstairs?
No, I'm mostly just
Kelian
talking Riot.
does.
Not Riot,
Okay.
friendly.
Kelian, you would notice, while everyone else is resting, while you're trying to make sure you're not seen by the patrols, that the Chasme, the insect creature here, after an hour or so, there's nothing left of it. It's just a pile of just smoldering ash. The blue flames of the tower have claimed this thing's body. And so you go and you poke your head downstairs and look at the snake people that you slaughtered on the second floor, and it's the same thing. It's just piles of ash. The flames of this tower have reclaimed them.
Kelian would make sure that there's still nothing in the tower, and would go back to the first floor and help himself to some more bread.
And when you get down to the first floor, go back down to the oven, and once again, there is a loaf of freshly baked bread waiting to be pulled out.
Kelian helps himself.
But you don't have any jam to put on it.
That's okay.
So, Kelian, bread. If I eat this, it's fine.
Yeah, Kelian already had some.
How do you feel about slaughtering undead?
Do we just need to go down the list? How do you feel about slaughtering giants? How do you feel about slaughtering devils? How do you feel about slaughtering demons?
Kelian, unless the patrols have actually met up Kelian, he's still skulking around, so...
That was the reason Serenity went by to
Well,
relieve
Kelian
the first patrol, was so you
Kelian
could
feels
contact
fine.
us.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kelian feels fine.
Alright, Mahogany will eat bread. And I'm gonna go find Serenity.
She'd,
Make a Constitution
Serenity
saving
would
throw.
tell Kelian what...
Ah!
Serenity would tell Kelian what they learned in the conversation and would suggest you just hang back. And then once we start fight with the big snake men, that would probably be a time. I actually sort of trust these people until we see them in combat.
20.
Alright.
What was that saving throw?
Nope.
20.
The bread is delicious.
Mostly because they had ample opportunity to slit Ciclon's throat, from what I understand, while he was on position. They didn't, so I'm not too concerned.
Kelian nods. Alright.
So what is the plan after breakfast has been eaten and put away? Does Kelian, at any point, do you make yourself known to this party?
No. It sounds like it's actually... Even though they trust them, it's still good that I don't know I'm here or that I'm around, so...
And
Kelian will continue maintaining that.
do any of the other of your number make known to the Thula group that you have a rogue sneaking around the joint?
Serenity was planning on it.
Nobody speaks up? Okay.
I don't see any reason why. He hasn't come up.
No, Elspon hadn't really, no.
Okay.
So Serenity, this is why good is a crock, right? Because this is the plane of lawful good, and yet they have a tree that mind controls anyone that eats it and makes them slaughter things.
It makes them slaughter evil things. I mean, for what it's worth, aside from the fact the thing was hideous, I don't think like killing it was good. It was just a question of, God, my chest still hurts.
So you think we should just go around controlling everyone and making them act exactly the same?
No, of course not. I think that tree was crazy, and I'm not about to eat any of the... Were there a lot of seeds in that? It looked like a pomegranate.
I mean, it was okay. It tasted pretty good.
Did you just eat it whole? Does that work when you're a bear?
Both tasted pretty good and tasted good.
Pretty good.
I got it. That
Well,
was
I mean,
funny.
I'm not going to pick the other ones and sell them in the bazaar if that's what you're asking. But I think if we just leave well enough alone, it's probably fine. Most things that come here are probably going to want to smite evil like that anyway. It's probably just like, a snack.
Mahogany isn't too happy with that answer, but he'll leave it be. I mean, that tree has to have a reason to exist.
And it seems to be doing its reason for existing pretty well, I'd say.
Riot.
Mhm.
Over the course of your conversations with Ariella, she is under the impression that you're the leader of your group. What is your reaction to that notion?
I'll proudly point out that our group has no leaders. We all come to every decision by common consensus.
And when you say our group has no leaders, Osos looks up from his breakfast and says, "No, you don't say."
Is Ciclon around for that conversation?
Sure.
Oh!
What do you mean?
Ciclon laughs at that.
Is
It's
this like
not.
Spot the Vegan, Spot the Anarchist?
This isn't an actual. It's a laugh without humor. He is not happy with that kind of answer.
I mean, obviously, when something needs to be done, someone just does it.
And
that's the way things work.
Riot says he's sore because the last common consensus overruled him.
I don't want to get into the details of the last common consensus for very obvious reasons. So,
Look, when something needs to be done, someone just does it. That's the best way of things.
Mm-hmm.
Riot's gonna ask Ariella if she knows anything about the armor downstairs.
She tells you that her impression was that the place was a room of rest. They examined several of the armor stands. It was her impression that the armor belonged to warriors who died fighting in the cause of good, and once she came to that conclusion, she pressed the issue no more. She left the armor alone.
I mean, it's an interesting idea. It's just kind of a little bit macabre, if you ask me.
Over the course of the discussions, as you guys are planning to raid the bottom of the tower, Ariella stresses multiple times, and every time she does, Zilvir agrees with her, that in this place, on this mission, muscle is what's going to win the day. Sheer strength, physical weapons, magic is unreliable, and while that is a drawback that we have to live with, it also means that the Yanti will not be able to use their magic.
Yeah, they're operating at the same kind of disadvantage.
That's true, they're all evil, aren't they?
Yeah, maybe greater, actually.
And when Serenity says maybe greater, Maddox nods his head and says, "I suspect so as well." So Ariella suggests that when the battle is met, that they form a front line consisting of her and Maddox and whoever of your number looks the most stalwart. And she suggests Serenity right off the bat.
Serenity's good. You'd be surprised at how much of a beating Mahogany can take as well.
Mahogany smiles.
That might be why he sometimes does things that don't quite add up. But yeah.
So Ariella nods, and then she says, "So, if we're to be working together then, and since your group is leaderless and without focus, we'll do it my way. I'll explain what needs done, and you lot just need to fall in behind. That sound good?"
Well, hang on. You can
I
make
don't think you understand.
suggestions.
We're incredibly focused.
You can make suggestions, but once again, our party operates without a leader. We'll do things as we see fit.
That's a very good way to get yourself killed. Or, worse, get one of mine killed.
You're welcome to stay behind.
Ciclon looks very frustrated by this.
Frustrated by what?
Well, I mean, Riot's kind of insistence that we're leaderless because that's just the way that she decides it, and Mahogany is just flippant dismissal of just no, he kind of gets the whole Jewish mother like, okay, fine, don't call, I'm just sitting here, just dying slowly.
Does he say anything?
Like, Ciclon says nothing, but it is very clear that he is increasingly unhappy with all of this.
Ariella is totally immune to the nuances of Ciclon's personality at the moment, but Osos picks up on it, and he chimes in and asks for your opinion. Looks like you want to say something, old bean. Called you old bean. I don't know where that came from.
Right.
Old
Riot
bean.
turns to him and says, "Yeah, speak up. Every voice is welcome." She smiles sweetly.
Every voice is welcome, huh?
Mahogany loves Osos.
Such as, voices that may have, not wanted to commit crimes in Sigil, and
Hey, we didn't commit any crimes.
Ciclon looks at you with just the biggest, like, are you really that fucking dead? You realize what we did not 24 hours ago? Like, and then just yesterday. Do you not realize what we did yesterday? Like, does that not even compute in your brain?
It's true, though. Mahogany didn't commit any crimes.
Ciclon, you're thinking far too much about yesterday or tomorrow or what's about to happen. There's only now. Just think about what you're going to do right now. What I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go downstairs and kill a bunch of vile snake men.
Your philosophy doesn't interest me.
Mahogany stands up, claps on the back, and he says, "All right, let's go." Heads out the door.
And
Mahogany
Riot looks
leaves
at
the
other
room.
and said, "We're ready when you are."
And Ariella looks back at...
Ciclon is extraordinarily pissed off right now. Ciclon is just livid. He cannot, he can't even vocalize. He just can't even.
He can't even.
Can't even
He
right
can't
now.
even odd at the moment.
Yeah. He is just, because this is exactly what happens every single time. Every single time. The two ciphers say, nope, we're gonna go do this. That's the end of it. And that just burns him. That burns him right the fuck up. He's starting to hate ciphers because of nonsense.
Riot says, 3-1, Ciclon, come on.
After Mahogany leaves the room, Ariella looks back and forth between Ciclon and Riot. Tell me this much at least. If I sound a retreat, will you?
Absolutely.
Oh, immediately.
She nods.
I'm not looking to get myself killed or Vorman and my friends for that matter.
If I sound the retreat and you don't, you get into trouble, I am honor bound to come and retrieve you and put myself into greater danger. Myself, my young squire, my companions, my friends.
Wait, is Serenity here? Did she leave already?
She's already left.
Yeah, Serenity and Mahogany are
Okay,
gone.
Then I'll tell Ariella, it's not me or him or any of the others you need to worry about. It's Serenity.
It's those
If you can pull her out, then we're good.
Maddox, who has kind of stayed quiet through the whole discussion, nods, says it's to be expected of ciphers. I told you about them. Ariella shakes her head. I thought you were talking about some manner of monster. I didn't realize you meant peoples.
So Serenity, those birds were awesome, right? We should get those again today, too.
The birds seem to work.
Before we go any further, though, I did forget one detail.
Ciclon, you've been dead since yesterday.
It's true, you have.
Yeah, I must have died after getting brain zapped. And this is now my living hell.
Okay, so yeah, Maddox is actually a member of the Godsmen. That is his faction.
Oh,
His suggestion.
Ciclon does still have his the Godsman symbol that Mahogany carved for him.
He's not wearing any
When's
sort
the
of.
last time you've done something?
Oh, I mean, just pointing the detail out in case he had the thing to point out about it.
He's not wearing any kind of sigil or colors, but it would have come up during conversation with him. He says, if I may venture an idea, let us wait for the ciphers to enact their folly, and then we can go down organized, regimented, a large enough group to take the Yanti downstairs, and then when we return to Sigil, you can have them raised. We'll ensure that their bodies make it back through the portal with you.
Ciphers are very useful. You have to understand. I mean, in addition to me and my friends, whom I don't want to see dead.
Indeed.
I'm not sure
I've
that
already
we can
seen
win with
friends dead, and I'm not going to see
You
that happen
yourself
again.
said that we're not going to win this with magic. Well, magic's most of what I've got.
Ariella nods and stands up. I've heard enough. Kit's in my armor. And Kitson begins girding her in her plate mail. She looks at Riot, Melcy Clone. Let's go see if you can intercept your friends.
Right.
Yeah, I'll go.
So where were Mahogany and Serenity going?
I want to check out the barrier. That seems interesting.
Yeah, no, we can wait for him there.
So you're going to check out the barrier?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me save this floor.
Not the barrier.
Not the barrier. That's a different thing entirely.
Not all that different. They're both charged.
So you make it back to the stairs that lead down further into the tower. But there's no barrier. The stairs just go down.
And I'll just kind of wave my hand out, and I'll just say, I don't see anything.
It's just the flickering flames and shadow of the floor below.
You sure there's... Maybe it's went out. Maybe they all left.
I mean, where would they go? Up to the ocean? They'd probably burn.
They could build a boat.
Is it still raining? I'll walk out to the front door and take a look outside.
It's coming down in sheets.
There's no way anything evil is going to make its way out of the tower right now. They'd be ash before they made it, a half a mile.
Serenity, did you see a big pail somewhere? Like a bathtub? Let's go get some of the ocean. Just toss a lot of it down the stairs.
It's not a bad idea.
And just flood the
basement on the second floor.
Let's go flood the basement.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I like that. Let's do it.
All right. How are you doing this?
We're gonna go get some kind of basin, fill it up with ocean water, and then just keep putting it down the stairs.
So, Elsie, Clone, and Riot coming down the stairs, you meet Mahogany and Serenity coming back the other way, and they have this great idea.
Mm-hmm. And Riot says to them, listen, Mahogany, remember the last time that there was the barrier, and there was terrible, terrible monsters behind it, and you decided to go poking through that barrier without telling anybody or letting anybody else know your plan.
Right, that's why we told you.
And now you're doing it again, and I'm telling you to stop.
Yeah.
Listen, we're gonna wait for everyone else. We have to go through the barrier anyway. What can it hurt?
You do, but don't break it before we're ready. Is all I'm saying.
Right. Here's the other idea. We take the basin. We take
Right.
some of those pipe out of the walls.
Okay.
We attach them to the bottom of the basin, put the basin outside in the rain, and let the pipes drain the water down into the basement.
I'm with you, except for one thing. Riot, the rain didn't burn you, did it?
It did
No,
not.
the rain felt fine.
Yeah, I don't think the rain will do it.
Oh, damn.
I think we have to stick with the basin idea. But, Riot, don't worry, there's always a perfect time to act. We'll wait
Just
until
as long
that time.
Right. That's
So-
all that's all we're here to do, is to make sure that you don't do anything foolish before the rest of the group arrives. We're all
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
do
don't
this
worry
together.
about it. It'll be fine.
Okay.
No,
You
we're
know,
gonna
come help
hop
us
on our-
find things to fill up with water. Come on, the Paladin's gonna love this idea. And
Yeah,
then Oso,
I'll-
he's gonna love it too.
I'll help him.
El Ciclon isn't having any of this. He's just sitting there leaning against the wall, waiting.
So your plan
Kelian's enjoying more bread.
you eat the entire loaf.
Yeah, carbohydrate.
Yeah.
Man.
So your,
Stalking.
your plan is to
You're all
attempt to get to pull some of the metal pipe out of the wall, correct?
No, we shot that plan down. We're just gonna get the basin and fill it.
And
So
then
you go
splash
up
it
to the
all
guest
over.
rooms and you get the two wash basins and you bring the ocean water back inside and throw it down the stairs. And
Oh,
there's
wait, yeah.
No, we'll wait.
you'll wait. You're
waiting.
not doing it. Okay. So two things I
While
want to
we're-
know.
while we're okay,
Go ahead, Riot.
while we're outside, Riot is gonna ask, is gonna pour her water skin out and ask Mahogany to fill it for her.
Alright, and I'll wave my hand around and guide some of the rain such that it funnels into the water skin.
Okay.
No, not the rain, the water,
The ocean.
the Bernie water. I can't do this by myself.
Oh, the burning water. You got it. And I'll dump it out, head over to the ocean, do the same thing.
Okay. So you fill your water skins and the two basins?
Mhm.
Okay. And Riot, you drink the water?
Hell no, it's a grenade now.
Two things I want to know before we wrap things up here. One, does Kelian have any intention of making himself known to the group before they head all downstairs? You heard the commotion in the conversation that was happening outside the door when you were eating bread.
Was it just my party, or was it my party plus
No, it
the
was
NPCs?
just the four of them.
No. If it's going to be just the five of us going downstairs, then yes. But if it's going to be plus NPCs, then I think Kelian would hold back instead.
So that leads me to the second question, is nobody's going to advance until the Thula party comes down to join them. You're going to go down
That's
all
right.
11
There
of
to
you.
ensure.
Okay.
I want to know their opinions on this great plan.
And then, like, if shit goes down, Kelian will join in.
All right.
Yeah.
So let me
Like,
load
yeah,
up.
if that happens, Kelian will join in.
Oh, wait a minute. This is... Hold on. I broke
I'm
everything.
holding, Bricker. I'm holding.
I need to save these because I'm going to use them on various floors.
Serenity, since we're not to fill up the entire basement, what do you say we wait until, like, the first wave of them comes? And then we just splash them all.
Yeah. Let's just carry the basin between the two of us, and then we'll just tip it over as soon as we want to have a slightly hazardous floor for them to fight on.
Sure. Then, I mean, if I need to, I can create more water. Or at least move this water in such a way. Does anyone want a spear made of water? Because, I mean, I could freeze a spear.
You know, it's possible
Can you make
that the water you create might actually hurt them. I mean, it
Can
looks
you
like
create
the flame I created was
javelins
made the
instead
same.
of spears?
Yeah, I can
Yeah,
make
give me a
any
couple
kind of
javelins.
pointy object. No, one pointy object.
Oh. Well, I mean, I assume if it's made of ice, it'll just shatter as soon as I use it, but give me a javelin.
Alright, well, I'm not using concentration for anything else, so...
Okay, so here's what I want next. If somebody wants to jot these colors down for your own notes. Red is Ariella.
Mhm.
Kitson the Squire is purple. Banyan the Ranger is green. Maddox the Warrior Monk is yellow. Zilvir the Spellcaster is blue. And Osos Pie Slayer is orange. So, assuming that Ariella and Serenity take points, what does the marching order look like beyond that?
I'm directly behind Serenity.
Okay.
We have the basin between us, so leave 5 feet between us.
Riot's gonna take up the rear with Kelian, presumably.
Well, Kelian's not
Orange
with
is
the party.
Ariella, or
Keelan's
red?
Yeah, then Riot's taking up her because all she's got is spells.
Oh yeah,
Osos is
it's a
the
big
halfling.
staircase.
Osos is
It's a
orange.
big staircase, so me and Serenity should probably be like this.
Yeah.
And also, I've just reread the rules, and I can totally freeze as many spears as I want. So as many javelins as you want, I got you.
Like 5.
It's got to be a javelin that you already have.
Yeah, no, I've got like 5 javelins, so.
All right, yeah, because what I'm doing is I'm dipping your javelin in and then freezing it around it.
Excellent.
Where does El Ciclon want to be in this marching order? Back is back here, Riot.
This foot back where?
Oh, never
This
mind.
is the back.
Okay.
Two javelins.
There we go.
2 javelins? Okay.
So Banyan's going to be back with you.
Mhm.
Zilvir being the most vulnerable, Zilvir and Kitson will take the middle, so you guys can guard the rear coming up. Does this look good to everybody?
Right.
And then
Right behind my
Kelian
good video.
is over there somewhere.
Ah!
Right.
Yeah, looks great to me.
And then I will show you what this floor looks like and then call it for the day.
This is such a good plan. All these myths. Oh, we can erase those.
Oh, I thought I already did.
It's fine.
They're gone.
Oh, dead. Great.
All right. And this room is filled with snake people. So,
People.
I'm going to get a straw poll set up.
Filled with steeple.
People.
At the end of the session, guys, we give bonus XP to whoever you in the Twitch chat were most amused by. There's a straw poll. Everybody go ahead and vote for your favorite character this session. Meanwhile, I am going to do some arithmetic on my end. While I do that, you guys be thinking about your belief rundown and whatnot. Thinking about who you want to award blips to. Okay, we had 3 battle encounters, numbers, calculators, adding.
All the numbers.
Too many numbers.
A cautionary tale.
Let's go numbers games.
I love how whenever I think of something that I want to give points to, I always have like new categories where I'm like, okay, if somebody figures out what they want to do for one categories, I'll give it for the other.
Alright, calculator, don't fail me now.
Actually, I have 3 categories for one of the things I want to give a point for. I can make it fit any of them.
We call that mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quit!
Alright.
Hey.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is give out some blips. At the end of the session, the party gives some bonus experience amongst themselves for a job well done. A blip right now, you guys are what, level 5? So a blip is worth 375 experience. That is 5% of the experience needed to attain level 6. The first blip we give is to the most creative action of the session. Who was the most creative player this week?
Riot trying to mitigate Mahogany's nonsense.
The creative use of dwarven shackles meant for undead?
Well, that
Either that
or
or
the
suggestion.
Or suggestion?
Yeah, that
I
and
maintain
suggestion.
that the shackles was a terrible idea, so my point is going for suggestion.
So we're giving it to Riot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think that's good.
We give it a point for assistance. Who did the most to further the party's goals?
Sound
Nobody
crickets in the
explored this
background.
tower as much as Mahogany did.
Is that the
But we're not supposed to be exploring the tower. We're supposed to be finding out more Bahamut.
Yeah, exactly. This appears to have been kind of a thing we just fell into.
If the point of exploring, if the point of this tower isn't to explore the dungeon and solve puzzles, I don't even know what game I'm playing anymore.
I don't think anybody really our objectives here on Celestia by doing this tonight.
Well, we have one nomination for Mahogany and one nomination for No, We All Suck.
I'd rather Mahogany get it and not give it.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, that's the clone was the one who was closest to actually do what we're here for and not fuck around.
Someone actually brought, hey, do you know where the Temple of Bahamut is?
That was
That
me.
was Riot.
True.
No, that was Riot.
No, I absolutely asked the people. Oh, that was last session. Last session I
Yeah.
asked where the Bahamut was.
Okay.
Okay.
So are we going to nominate Riot just for asking the question?
Yeah.
I mean, she asked directions. That's got to count for something.
In absence of all others? Okay, we can give it to Riot.
I'm not voting Riot because I want to give Riot a blip for the song, and I'm not giving Riot 3 blip session.
Riot's already getting a blip for the song, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, but I want to give Riot a blip for the song.
We give a blip for badassery. Who was the most badass this session?
The hummingbirds. No, Mahogany.
Mahogany?
No, actually, I'm going to say Serenity, because unlike Mahogany, Serenity was
Yeah,
not
so-
under a compulsion to fight that demon, but
Yeah.
she did it anyway.
I dove through 16 demons to fight
Don't
the guy.
care. Don't. You were under a compulsion.
Yeah.
Serenity was not. That's why I give it to Serenity.
Serenity? Okay. And then we give one for intangibles. Just whatever you guys feel like giving a blip for this week.
Has Kelian gotten one? I don't think so. I like that Kelian has not revealed himself to this party.
Kelian-
I really like that. You know,
I'm wondering
Kelian
where
is
this is going.
literally the secret weapon in this fight because he knows he exists.
Yeah.
I'm worried that they might attack Kelian if they don't realize what's going on when they first see him.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what's going to happen.
I am being punished for role-playing.
No, you're not, because I know exactly what Brickroad is going to say after we finish this blip rundown. He's going to say, I give Mahogany a flaw blip for completely ruining everyone's day.
Okay.
I'm okay
No,
with Kelian getting blipped, though. That's
I'm
fine.
totally down with Kelian getting that blip.
I'm down with everyone but Elsa clones.
Okay. Let's do some belief rundown. Let's fill your BPs back up. We got some BPs spent this week.
I'll do mine.
Riot. What is Riot's belief?
Institutions of control must be uprooted and undermined at every opportunity.
And did Riot act in accordance with that belief?
I think so.
Objection.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
Institution of control, including the this whole thing of, well, we all vote and people get overruled. Well, guess who's been getting overruled for like 3 weeks now? LC Clone. He's been getting shed on this whole time.
What is Riot's feeling towards LC Clone always being voted against in group decisions? Does she see LC Clone's proclivities
this is
as
where
an element of control?
It's a good question. I mean, it's definitely a fair question because Riot also believes up in speaking up for the minority. But at the same time, like, you can't let the minority run the group. If Ciclon's decisions are totally contrary to what everybody else wants to do, we can't just say, "Oh yeah, we're just gonna let him decide. He's the leader now," because so we all have to listen to him. I don't think that we're an institution of control as long as we're democratically making decisions, and that's what's happening so far.
Okay.
But the point remains that you guys made Ciclon complicit.
I don't understand. Is this Ciclon's belief?
This I don't know what this is. This is me.
That's not even.
This is me venting thracians. Is what it
That's
is.
not even what I was gonna say. The belief point was for anyway.
So what's it for?
It's for getting that coin.
For taking the coin? So
Yeah, I took a coin with no strings attached. From
Oh
Mount
yeah, that's
Celestia.
right. What did you win a point for? I want to change it to a point for that coin because that was rad as shit.
So Riot sees the magical protections on the various rooms of this tower as an institution of control, and she outsmarted part of it.
Right. She broke that rule.
So what
That
is
was great.
Riot's take on the other areas of the tower? The room that talked about taking an oath, the mausoleum with all of the armors. What is her take on all of that as it pertains to her belief?
Well, she's for damn sure never going to take any of those oaths. The room with the armor is a trickier one because it's very difficult to determine right now whether those souls are being bound to their armor or whether they are merely parroting memories stored in them. Until she's more certain of what's going on exactly with those armor and the mannequin setup, it's hard to really make a ruling as far as it pertains to her belief.
Okay. Is Riot learning anything new about her beliefs?
I'm gonna say yes, because as much as she's trying to hide it, she is noticing Ciclon's frustration with how things are turning out.
So now let's develop that a little bit.
Okay.
So from Riot's perspective, the institution of control in the group is coming to a group decision, and if 3 people have the vote, they win. So
Yeah, and especially
two of which
and
are.
I'm getting that.
let them talk.
Okay.
Since 2 of them are ciphers, they always vote together.
So what did Riot learn that's new? Like, what is she thinking about changing? How does she think she can use that knowledge to temper her belief? Let me put it this way. Would Riot ever consider voting against what she wants in one of these group decisions, specifically to allow the minority parties in the group to have their way more often?
Yeah, she's thinking about doing that.
Okay. Are Riot's beliefs changing?
No.
And who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Mahogany, what's your belief?
Mahogany's belief is that everything has its own perfect state of being, and some cannot be tolerated.
And did Mahogany act in accordance with that belief?
One half yes and one half no, and it wasn't to his own. This is a weird question because he acted in accordance to his belief unwillingly, which he acted in accordance to the some cannot tolerate it part by going out and taking care of these things. But the perfect state of being part, like he probably, if he hadn't been in this, honestly, the thing that he probably would have been more interested in is how do I get these evil creatures off of this good plane without killing them?
So, what is the perfect state of being of a horse-sized insect demon from the abyss in Mahogany's reckoning?
Probably in the abyss, fighting the blood war or whatever the fuck they get up to down there.
So seeing this creature imprisoned in a tower of fire on Mount Celestia, how does Mahogany square that?
Since there's, as far as he can tell, this thing will never be released.
Mm-hmm.
It's just going to be here forever. He thinks that it should be freed.
Okay. So a yes and a no rounded down turns into a no. When you average it.
I don't really care about the point. I just wanted to go through my reasoning.
How does Mahogany respond to his own perfect state of being when it comes to mind-controlling compulsions?
Mahogany is 100% instant. Like, he has previously had the problem with, where the plane was acting against Serenity, and he did his best to get her out of its influence. And he's honestly about, what it did to himself here. And, like, before he then got presented with a 100% to him free way of taking care of those demons upstairs, his upset over that, and also his flaw where he wasn't sure he was thinking correctly at the time,
right,
was enough to stop him from attacking the things in the prison, until he then got presented with, oh, here's a silver glaive for dealing with it.
So, mind-controlling alterations from the plane work against your perfect state of being, unless the plane is telling you to take off your clothes and walk around naked. Then we're fine with it.
I wasn't a big fan of that either, no.
Did Mahogany learn anything new about his beliefs?
No, because he already knew that stuff about the mind control. It already bugged him with Serenity.
Just reinforces it, and are they changing?
Yeah. No.
Who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
Ciclon.
Cyclone.
I'm gonna keep saying it like that. I just decided tonight.
Mr. the Cyclone. Nice.
What is Ciclone's belief?
My belief is that a luchador's duty to know what hero it is and exemplify it to the public.
And did Ciclone exemplify heroism this week?
You know, as much as he tried to, I don't think so.
No?
No.
Did Ciclone learn anything new about his beliefs?
I would say no, but it just seems like I've just run into, like, after week after week of Ciclone trying to be a good person and still doing terrible things.
Now, in Ciclone's mind, is a hero and a good person the same thing? Is that what it means to be a hero, to be a good person?
Maybe not.
Are his companions bad people, or are they simply not heroes?
They're not heroes. They're not bad people, though.
You say that with some confidence. So, if being a hero is different than being a good person, let's take Ariella Orcslayer, for example.
But
let's take Ariella, for example, and her story about her holy charge to protect her homes from these warring tribes of snake people. Is that something Ciclone considers heroic?
Sure.
I'm going to make a note of that. And are Ciclone's beliefs changing?
Again, contingent on whether or not I can think of a better way to put it, because, like I said, it's been a couple of weeks. Ciclone has been doing terrible things because of his terrible friends. And
so
I don't know. It's still working on it.
Let's work on that a little bit, going back to the past, I don't know, few adventures here. Which person in the group did the most terrible thing? Who is the most terrible member of the group in Ciclone's reckoning?
That, of what he's aware of? I would say Kelian, but he's not aware of all the nonsense Kelian gets up to.
So since you can't say Kelian, who are you saying?
I'm gonna say Riot.
Riot? What is the most terrible thing Riot has done to this group?
Basically, the way he sees it is that she drugged himself and everyone else into a plan to break someone out of lawful custody.
That was Mahogany's idea.
And
He doesn't know
well, he doesn't see that way. He doesn't know that way. All he knows is that Riot said, "I'm going to go down and talk to Serenity," and then shit broke loose.
Oh yeah, that was really funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be fair, Riot didn't lie. She did do that.
Yeah. No. But
That's accurate.
Ciclon isn't stupid. He can put 2 and 2 together.
So Ciclon, having these visions of heroes who go on grand journeys and facing impossible odds, doing the right thing by friends and family, would he have decided to let Serenity stay in jail?
You know, obviously, after give him some time to think on it, which he really hasn't had a time to think on it.
That's
I would
true.
say
That's fair.
it was right. Think about it, but you know, after cooling off a little bit, you'd imagine that. Well, I mean, what we're working toward is the greater good,
Mm-hmm.
and that it is the greater good. Like, instead of letting this get buried in a whole bunch of bureaucracy, because we don't know if Diller was the only, or it wasn't Diller. Who was the one?
Yeah, it was Diller.
Yeah, it was Diller. Okay, yeah, Diller was the only plant that has in the Harmonium.
Okay.
Riot would immediately assure him that he was not.
And it's the thinking that's been getting you in trouble.
All right.
You just have to act.
Who wants to go next?
So yeah,
Circle
Kelian will go.
next.
Kelian. What is Kelian's belief?
Kelian's belief is the best outcome is what benefits me or my friends, my party the most.
And did he act in accordance with that belief this week?
It remains to be seen.
So, no with a ... question mark?
Yeah,
no with an asterisk.
Does Kelian...
to be determined.
Kelian keeping himself hidden from the Thula party, does he consider that acting on behalf of the company's benefit?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Did Kelian learn anything new about his beliefs?
In conjunction with the first part, I would say yes, because there's no, as of this moment, there is no material aspect to this. What he is most accustomed
There's
to.
that one gold piece.
So,
That's true.
coming into this tower on this plane that Kelian has some knowledge about that he's been to before, and that absolutely it's uncomfortable just for him to exist on, and coming to this tower and learning that it's been the target of both a group of evil snake people and a group of adventurers from the Prime, and all you have to show for it from a material aspect is a loaf of bread. Does that bother Kelian at all?
Gosh, I didn't even think about that, but yeah, it totally would. It absolutely would.
So what is it that Kelian feels he's learning about his beliefs?
I don't know.
Don't know.
That
Okay.
maybe there is more to it than a material aspect.
So there are benefits outside of just what you can count.
Yeah.
And are Kelian's beliefs changing?
Not as of this moment.
Serenity. What is Serenity's belief?
By my actions, I will make the multiverse a better place.
And did she act in accordance with that belief?
Yeah.
How so?
One fewer demon, one fewer snake, much fewer snake people and snakes, actually.
So, from Serenity's perspective, you have a demon, an abyssal creature, locked in a prison on Mount Celestia, where if it escapes, it is sure to die. But even that being the case, she still felt that in that moment, destroying it made everything better.
Well, made things, yeah, because after Mahogany broke whatever was sealing it to keep it from attacking people started to drop. So yeah, it actually absolutely had to be killed, destroyed at that point.
Okay. Did Serenity learn anything new about her beliefs?
Yeah, a little. She learned that being overly zealous about them is probably not something that should be done because
I don't
again,
think that came up.
until that insect demon was released from whatever stasis it was in, no one was getting hurt, and after that, Serenity had to do a lot of work to make sure that remained the status quo.
So even though the universe is a better place with the destruction of that creature, it would have been a less good place having living alive, but it would have taken a lot less effort as well.
It would have been a less good place. No, it would have been. It was a fine place to start with. It became a worse place when it was broken out of stasis, and then it went back to the status quo afterwards. So yeah, it was just that risk. It's not so much the work; it's the risk involved in that middle section.
Gotcha. Are Serenity's beliefs changing?
Not really.
Serenity and Riot, I'm awarding you each 2 BPs, and Kelian, I'm awarding you 1.
6 is the max?
6 is the max.
Yeah.
I should have re-rolled some of those attacks.
Alright, let me go to the straw poll here. See who's winning the straw poll. I've got Kelian winning the straw poll. Apparently, everybody was really impressed with Kelian this week.
Really?
For what?
I don't know for what.
The hiding was pretty
Exactly.
The hiding at the end was
all right.
pretty funny. I don't know what I want to do with that. Let me.
I just thought of. I had a much better reason for furthering the party's goals. I got us more EXP.
Well, thank you, chat. That was cool.
A blip is worth.
Totally not expecting it.
A blip is worth 375. Riot, you're walking away with the creative and assist blips, plus 1 for the new song.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and you got 3 blips, add that up. Ciclon, your flaw is, as a slave, I was forced to violate my principles, and I will never compromise them again. And I feel like Ciclon, being the odd man out in the group, being forced to violate those principles again and again, being forced to compromise them, that's definitely starting to show. I'm awarding you the flaw blip for that, now that we have a flaw that I can work into the session spontaneously.
Yeah.
Kelian, you're walking away with with 2 blips for intangibles and the straw poll. Mahogany, I'm awarding you a blip for your faction. And I'm giving you the flaw blip for the only purpose in my life is to destroy evil. So 2 blips for you.
I don't remember acting according to that, but you got it.
And Serenity, I'm awarding you. You got 3. You got 1 for the faction, 1 for your flaw. There is only now. And 1 for your alignment. Good is helping the weak and less fortunate. I'm awarding you that because you stood in defense of Mahogany, who was not able to think clearly. But I'm awarding you both the blip for your faction for this session, because it sounds like your faction is a cause of strife in the group that is causing difficulties. I'm going to add up your encounter experience. So on top of the blips, everybody getting...
I also got the message. You see an obviously enchanted apple, but it smells really good. And my first response was, I eat it.
But that's more of a sensate, though, than a cipher.
Everybody's getting 120 for the first combat with the wrong man and the snakes, plus 120 for the second combat with that wrong man and those snakes.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's getting 700 for the big combat with all the snakes and the wrong men and whatnot. Serenity, Riot, and Ciclon are getting 383 for the combat with the demon.
Wait, what?
Mahogany,
I helped that.
You left the combat immediately and did not take any actions against
it. And then healed Frenzy a bunch.
And yet, I'm not giving you experience for it, for staying in the room. You were magically compelled to exit the combat, and Kelian chose to exit. I feel like I should give nobody experience for that combat and just give it all to Kelian. But I'm not going to do that. So for Serenity, Riot, and Ciclon, I'm giving 383. That is not what that demon is worth. I did not give you the full number of what it's actually worth because it was locked in a spell and couldn't move.
Yeah.
I mean,
it would have just
not to
started
mention,
hitting me anyway.
You guys could have taken it though. It was a CR5 demon. I'm confident you could have brought it down.